is a heavyweight. And I think David's legacy is he actually needs to move up. And Usyk would be like the fight that would like give him the type of recognition that he needs. He needs to stop trying to suck down and beat up on smaller men. His legacy is a heavyweight. Crawford, he can do whatever he wants now. If he wanted to retire, he can do that. And if he wanted to just pick easy fights to pad the stats some more, he can do that too. We already know that Charlo's probably wouldn't stand a chance against him. Nobody else who's a big name at 160 or whatever. He don't need to go back down no more. That's a waste of time. And it's also bad on his body too. We saw what happened.
When asked about Terence Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez didn't hold back his words.
Do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford.
The WBC light heavyweight champion summed up Crawford's performance in just 4 words, a description fans quickly agreed was spot on. Crawford's rise in boxing history was nothing short of incredible. It proved that the Omaha native had cemented his place among the sport's all-time greats. Earlier this month, Crawford stepped into the ring against Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, and many doubted whether moving up 3 weight classes was too much to handle. Instead, he shocked the boxing world by defeating Canelo to become the undisputed super middleweight champion. The fight took place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and by the end, the judges' scorecards clearly favored Crawford, 115-113, 116-112, and 115-113.
The planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion, 3 times over, 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
Crawford set the pace early, and Canelo simply couldn't keep up. This wasn't just another win, it was a defining moment in boxing history. Crawford became the first male boxer ever to hold undisputed titles in 3 different weight divisions, solidifying his legacy. At 37, the Omaha native delivered what might be the greatest performance of his career. Benavidez, an undefeated world champion himself, made it clear that Crawford now belongs in the conversation among boxing's all-time greats. His ability to move up from welterweight at 147 pounds to super middleweight and capture all 4 major titles is something the sport has never seen before. "I want to congratulate Terence Crawford," Benavidez said. "In the history of boxing, very few have done what he has. He's one of the all-time greats. Not only did he move up 3 weight classes, but he beat one of the best fighters of this generation. I don't remember anyone ever winning the super middleweight world title after starting at 147 pounds. He's not just a great fighter. That fight showed he's got the heart of a true warrior."
Wait, Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take.
Crawford's victory made him a world champion in 5 different weight divisions, and talk about his next move started almost immediately. Some believe he might drop back down to middleweight to face Janibek Alimkanieli, the unified WBO and IBF champion. If he manages to win that fight, he'd be competing for a title in a 6th division, something almost unimaginable for most fighters. Meanwhile, Canelo finds himself at a turning point. At 35, he's expected to return in early 2026 after signing a 4-fight deal, but many fans and analysts are questioning whether retirement might be the smarter choice. Losing his undisputed title to Crawford has sparked debate about whether his time at the top has finally come to an end.
You understand me? That's going to tank the rest of his career if he keeps trying to fight. Well, it's tough to say because he's made enough money that he can retire. He really has nothing else to prove. We saw him go up. He did he tested himself all the way up as far as he could go. He won the light heavyweight title, then he lost to Bivol. So that shows that the light heavyweight was his ceiling. And that's good enough. Really, right now, he got nothing else to prove. Of course, if you keep fighting, people gonna demand you fight the monster because both you guys are Mexican. But to me, you probably shouldn't do that. You understand me? It's probably not a good fight for you at this point.
As Crawford celebrated his historic win, more boxing analysts shared their thoughts on the fight. Hall of Famer James Toney was especially blunt in his assessment of Canelo's performance. He didn't see it as a close contest or even a respectable loss. In his view, Canelo was completely dominated. The Mexican star wasn't just beaten. Crawford's sharp, relentless strategy broke him down round by round. It was a harsh reality for a fighter who once looked untouchable at super middleweight.
Not only did they lose him, he got destroyed basically. Took it apart.
Do you feel like he's gonna want that back? Do you feel like
if he's a true fighter, a true champion, he gonna want it back and train twice as hard and do what it takes to get the job done. Basically, that's what comes down to right there.
Toney's comments came just as rumors of a possible rematch between Canelo and Crawford started to spread. Many believe Canelo will look for revenge sooner rather than later, especially after the WBC reinstated him as their #1 contender at 168 pounds. If he goes through with it, Canelo would be chasing an unprecedented third run as an undisputed champion, a feat few fighters can even dream of. While Toney focused on Canelo's defeat, former light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev looked ahead to Crawford's future. Having faced Canelo himself, Kovalev believes there's only one fighter who could truly challenge Crawford, Dmitry Bivol. Earlier this year, Bivol defeated Artur Beterbiev to become the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and Kovalev sees him as Crawford's toughest possible opponent. Yes, Bivol could cause problems for Crawford with his style, Kovalev said. But Crawford showed in his last fight that he can adapt to any weight and any opponent. Still, that's the fight I'd really like to see.
Crawford, how good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
Is that good?
how to learn boxing. You know,
Really?
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound #1?
Yeah, probably he is now because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes.
It's crazy.
While Kovalev analyzed Crawford's possible future opponents, another big name joined the discussion on a different topic. Former champion and current promoter Oscar de la Hoya shared his thoughts on whether Terence Crawford could be considered greater than Floyd Mayweather. The debate started after Canelo suggested that Crawford might have surpassed Mayweather, but de la Hoya disagreed. He firmly believed that Mayweather was the superior fighter. La Hoya pointed to Mayweather's dominant win over Canelo as proof, noting how Floyd barely took a clean punch that night and controlled the fight with ease, a clear display of his technical brilliance. In his view, while Crawford may be more aggressive and versatile, Mayweather's skill level was simply on another tier.
And who would do it? Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically.
This comparison reignited one of boxing's favorite debates, the question of generational greatness. Mayweather built his legacy on unmatched defense and flawless strategy, winning titles in 5 divisions and retiring undefeated. Crawford, meanwhile, made his mark through adaptability, toughness, and the rare ability to dominate across multiple weight classes. The question of who's truly greater may never have a clear answer, but it highlights just how extraordinary Crawford's career has become.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era.
Even as debates about greatness continued, talk about Mayweather's personal future resurfaced. After retiring in 2017 following his win over Conor McGregor, Floyd hasn't fully stepped away from boxing. Commentator Dan Rafael weighed in, suggesting that if Mayweather returned, it wouldn't be against top-tier opponents. Instead, he expected Floyd to choose safer fights to protect his perfect 50-0 record. Rafael wasn't impressed by the idea of a comeback, seeing little appeal in watching the legend fight outside his prime or in novelty matches. He even dismissed speculation about a potential fight with Manny Pacquiao as completely uninteresting. Many fans shared this view, feeling that Mayweather's career should be celebrated for what it achieved rather than diluted by unnecessary returns.
A lot less time than Floyd Mayweather was. That's significant. I mean, I hope this doesn't lead to some stupid discussion of doing a rematch between Floyd and Manny, because that I have like literally less than zero interest in that.
I remember what you said. I can't remember the words you said, but you said you'd rather set yourself on fire than watch that.
Exactly. I mean, I would say right now it's idle talk, and Floyd like spitballing, seeing what's out there. And this whole thing they announced with this Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather exhibition bout, the way that was announced was very clear to me that, they may have signed to do the fight, but it's contingent on them actually having a platform on which to do it that will pay them money. And I don't think they have a deal yet for anybody to show it. So it's still a matter of if that actually will take place. So I'll believe it when I see it. And frankly, I don't see there being a lot of interest in that. Not because they're not two incredible names and two all-time legends and two great fighters and, have tremendous amount of fans and history in the sport. But we all know what Tyson's got left, and that's absolutely nothing. If they announced Mayweather versus Tyson before we saw Tyson get completely exposed by Jake Paul, I could understand there being interest. But he went in the ring with Jake Paul and had 8 rounds where he couldn't do anything. I know that was technically an official fight, so what makes you think he can do anything against a Floyd?
Looking at the present, Crawford's reputation has only grown since his dominant win over Canelo, and he may soon reach even more historic milestones. His career has become the biggest story in boxing. Whether aiming for middleweight glory, considering a matchup with Bivol at light heavyweight, or staying at super middleweight, he's proven he can adapt to any challenge. Meanwhile, Canelo faces major decisions about his own legacy. Should he try to rebuild at 168 pounds, seek revenge against Crawford, or retire after years of dominance? For a fighter who has already achieved so much, the choice of whether to continue is just as significant as any fight.
Canelo retired too. I don't think he will though. He's got a multi-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's a lot of money on the table, and he's a proud champion. So I could understand him not wanting to end on that note. But you can see Canelo getting older, and I'm not just talking about ring. I mean, you can see it in his face, for the Netflix special behind the scenes. You kind of see the age, you see the wear and tear. The man has been fighting as a professional since he was 15 years old.
20 years.
He's got over, it's a long time to be getting hit with 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves. Even if you take it well, and oftentimes the guys that take it well, they show it more. Because I'm absorbing a lot of shots, and you giving me praise for absorbing them shots, but them shots take a toll. I don't know how much longer he should keep fighting, and it's not because he can't fight anymore. Still one of the best fighters in the world. But you get into the hunger conversation. You get into the total punishment that you got to add that stuff up when you start getting older. Like, okay, man, do I still need to do this? He doesn't need to do it other than just his love for it, because his mantra is no boxing, no life. So I don't know if he's going to be able to walk away right now. His legacy is secure. I think he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters that has ever done it. I think he's in the great category and conversation. We can break down a resume another day, but I think that given the way that he fought and given the way that he bowed out, I think you just got to just leave it right there and give him his respect. I would like to see him maybe take 1 or 2 more and call it a day, go enjoy the fruits of his...
From Benavidez's glowing praise to Tony's sharp critique, from Kovalev's cautious analysis to De La Hoya's bold comparisons, and finally Rafael's doubts about Mayweather, Crawford's historic performance sparked a wave of reactions across the boxing world. Each perspective highlighted a different angle, painting a picture of a sport in transition, where legends are tested and new icons emerge. Terence Crawford has been at the center of it all. Once criticized for lacking high-profile opponents, he's now regarded as one of the best boxers of his generation. With every division he conquers and each champion he defeats, his name becomes more deeply etched in boxing history. The only remaining question: how far is he willing to go? Share your thoughts in the comments below.